Alrighty, so this is a little bit of a tutorial for the texture portraits project. So the first thing that you should have done is gathered a reference image. You should have gotten something with either a person or a pet or an animal. Really, I wanted you to source your own image, nothing really off of the internet. So this is a picture of me and my daughter. Hey! And what I have done is I have opened this in Photoshop. So obviously it is a background image and it's locked, but that's okay because everything that I'm going to do is going to add layers on top of it. So this background image is not going to be needed by the end of this project. What I have also done is I have made a texture palette Photoshop file. So this really is only for the hair. I've gone through and I've sourced some really cool textures that I liked that I wanted to try out for the hair. And as you can see, I have named these highlight, midtone, and a shadow or dark tone. And basically, what I went in and I did, actually, this is the original tone that I had sourced from the internet. So, this is what I had picked in our in-class walkthrough of this last Wednesday. And to do the hair. And what I went through is I showed you how to do image and adjustments and bringing out the brightness and contrast and different levels and stuff to either change the color or to change the brightness. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete these so that I can show you. So this was the original, and I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to hold down Alt, click, and drag, and I'm going to name this highlight. Wow, if I can spell. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure this is selected and that all of these are hidden so that I can see this one. And I'm going to go to Image Adjustments, and I'm going to go to Brightness and Contrast, and I'm going to see what this will do. So if I just pull up the brightness, it's actually going to really brighten this up. And I can play with the contrast a little bit just so that I'm not forsaking some of that texture in there. I can also go in and I can adjust the levels, the vibrance, all that jazz to kind of bring out a little bit more of, so yeah, this, there, oh, maybe not that, desaturated. There we go. The computer's lagging just a little bit. All right. I'm pretty satisfied with that. So that's going to be my highlight. So you can see that there's my midtone. My highlight's just a little bit brighter and a little lighter. So now I'm going to duplicate this again and I'm going to name this shadow or dark tone. Okay, and I'm going to hide this. I'm going to make sure this is selected and this is viewed. Image adjustments, brightness and contrast. So I'm going to go down on the brightness. And I want to make sure that it's still pretty contrasted. So I'm going to bring this up a notch. There we go. So I'm pretty satisfied with this. Okay, so you are going to want to have your textures sorted out and really decided upon what you want to place it for. So you might have your skin palette separated and figured out, and you might want to adjust the colors. Like I can go through, like say I wanted my skin to be kind of this fabric-y. I could go in and if I didn't find something in this fabric that I really liked in the color, I can go to image adjustments and you can go to hue and saturation and you can play around with the color until you've got something. So that's kind of like a skin color. You can change the lightness, brightness, and you've got something somewhat like a skin tone. But that's up for you to decide how you want to organize all of that. Again, going back over here, like I said, I wanted to do these as the hair. I can group these together and I can name this hair. And then all of my hair shades and tones and textures are in there. So, yeah. Alrighty, so now to work the magic of this project. So you are going to select your polygonal lasso tool. In the actual PDF, it says the hexagonal lasso tool. This is the exact same thing. So when it says hexagonal, it means polygonal. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the hair. And what you're going to do is just piece by piece and kind of where the different values are, you are going to take this and you're going to just piece together. I'm going to do just a little chunk. This is just going to be super quick, so you might want to be a little bit more meticulous. So you want to make sure that this is still selected, and what you're going to do is in the middle you'll see this white arrow with a white box that appears. You are going to click and drag this over to your texture palette, okay? And I'm going to make sure whatever one I want is selected. I'm going to make sure that the mid-tone is selected, okay? And once I have that, and I can place this wherever I want. So maybe I want this to be kind of more over here. I'm going to hit Command C to copy, and I'm going to go back over here and hit Command V to paste. And as you can see, I have a separate layer that has pasted on top of this that has pasted that exact selection from this palette. Okay? You're going to do the same thing. You can overlap them if you want to. Okay, same thing. I'm going to go over here, hit Command C, then back over here, Command V. Okay, and then you want to make sure, as you're getting into darker portions, that you are adjusting for that. So again, I'm not doing it super perfect, but I'm going to make sure that I'm going to hit the darker tone a little bit. Okay. And even this right in here is a little bit darker. I'm not piecing this out as perfectly, so this is just a quick example. If I was focusing a little bit more time, I would definitely be piecing it together a little bit differently. And I will have to apologize for my heat. It just came on, so it's really, really loud, so I apologize for that. So yeah, so you're literally piecing together, and after, I should see a full image with all of your texture palettes and everything making up an image. You want to do a background as well, okay? I don't want to see a white background. So basically, once you have all of this, so say I, am done with the hair and I wanted to group that together to clean it up a little bit, I can, again, select all of those. What you do is you select and then you shift, select the very bottom one that you want, and then you hit this folder right here, and it groups them together. And I named this hair. This cleans it up and makes it so much simpler to access all of your portions and your layers so that it's not getting all muddied. So then what you can do is you can create one at the very end. Oop, let me not put it in the actual. Okay. So I'm going to create a new group, and then you can create a background. So because this is under everything, so initially your background is going to need to be this first layer right above your background layer, or this original source image. Okay, that way it is under everything. So if I were to, you know, create something real quick, you would see I'm just going to do a section. I'm going to drag it over here. Let's just say I do this as my background. It's not going to be perfect because, well, yep, because I wasn't on that layer. But as you can see, it would be behind whatever I did. So that's just an example. Obviously, it's not very pretty because, you know, I'm doing it real quick just to give you an example. So there you go. Make sure you go in, you can get these fine details. You can, you know, do the different values of the face. Like, look, there's a highlight right here. There's a highlight right here on my nose. There's a bit of a shadow right here where I'm smiling. You want a lip texture, maybe a texture for the teeth. It really can be whatever and however you've made up you want it to be. Get as creative as possible with it and have fun. And just know your process is polygonal lasso tool. Make your selection, drag the selection over, make sure that whatever you want your texture to be is selected and viewable so that you don't make a mistake and paste the wrong thing. So yeah, Command C once you have it selected, and then Command V to paste it. I would focus on little areas at a time. I wouldn't be sporadic and do, oh, I'm going to do the shirt now. Oh, I'm going to do, no, I would do focus on one area at a time, okay? That way it just makes it less muddy over here and it gets one section done at a time. So you can really see it getting pieced together and not so random. Alrighty, there you have it.